1, 2, 3 testing, and we're on. Good afternoon, guys. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. I had an absolute amazing weekend with Team Blondes Garage up at Brighton. The guys who fixed my motorcycle, my KX250, they're the guys what I went out with, and Gene come and picked me up Sunday morning and took us to Ashdown Motocross track, which is in Oxfordshire. So there was me, Gene, his dad, his younger brother, his sister, his wife and his baby. It's a whole family affair, and we all went up there and we had one hell of a day. It's got to be up with the top days I've had so far on my bike. The track conditions was absolutely awesome, and we was all riding together, we all stuck together, you know. These dreams have come true, my dreams have come true, and I'm having the time of my life on my bike. So today, guys, my missus made a nice Sunday roast, so when I come back from Ashdown, I was very, very knackered and tired, you know, after being on a motocross bike all day. So my missus had a bit of roast beef on, and we had a lovely roast dinner, to come back to. We had that, and today, Monday, we had quite a lot of beef left over on the beef joint, because it was a big beef joint. So I said to my missus, we're gonna make a beef curry today, and so I've started a beef curry. I'll let you know what I've put in it. I started it off with onions, garlic, coriander, yogurt, cumin, mixed peppers, curry powder. So I'll turn the pot round and I'll show you where I'm at, guys. And the smell is absolutely amazing. As you can see, we've got all the peppers and the bits and pieces. Here's our beef curry, man. You can actually hear it cooking. Look at that. And I've put a whole Scotch bonnet in it, so I'm just going to let that cook up for a good few hours. And my missus is going to make Bombay potatoes. We've got onion bhajis, Bombay potatoes, which we're going to do ourselves. So I'm going to leave that curry on the go for a few hours and put the lid back on it, let it simmer. So yeah, on the whole, guys, things are really, really good for me. They actually couldn't get no better for me at the minute. I'm loving life. I've got such a good wife. I've got such a good family. I've got such good people around me that this is why I keep putting these positive videos on there, uploading content, because, you know, I didn't have this years ago. Let me tell you that now. People stayed away from me years ago. They didn't want to be around me. If I rang anyone up and asked them for help, they didn't want to give me no help, because they knew I was just like off the rails and, you know, taking a piss. So basically, you know, you're on your own when you're on drugs and when you're committing crimes, and when you're the other side of the fence, you're on your own. Your family do stick there for you through thick and thin, but, you know, it took me a good few years to sort myself out. Since 2010, I've got myself sorted out. So yeah, I'm well ahead of it now, and I've got so many great things going on in my life at the minute. I'm still doing my second book. My first one's on Amazon, so that's still up and running. But today, guys, I'm going to talk to you about Hmp Dovegate, and that is a Cat B training gel, which was set up. I think it was opened up in 99 or 2000 for long-termers. And me and my other two co-defendants was the first ones to actually enter Dovegate as inmates. So we got sent there from Swellside. From Swellside. I was in Swellside for about a year, and the screws were basically trying to get rid of long-termers and get them into these training jails, these private, because it had gone private. It was a private jail, and obviously HMP Swellside is run by Screws, and the other jails are run by Serco or whatever, the private jails. And let me tell you, they're earning a fortune out of that anyway. For each inmate each year, it's absolutely ridiculous amounts of money what they get for inmates. So the more inmates they get, the more money they get. It's just one big fucking money spinner. But what happened was, guys, there was only a few of us. There was me, my other two codees, and a few other guys what got sent to Dovegate. I hadn't heard nothing about it. I heard it was a new prison, and it'd have all the new facilities and all the top of the you know, toilets and sinks and there was an electric and things like that. So when I landed at Dovegate, I couldn't believe it. The wings were the doors at the edge of the wings. So basically, there was electric doors, and the office was in the centre, and you had like wings going off of the office in the centre, and at the double doors, glass doors, which was where the Screws used to when they used to let us out on association, they used to unlock us and let us run about on a wing, but you couldn't get out of them double doors. And their office was right next to the double doors, so basically they could see everything what was going on the wing. They had state-of-the-art CCTV in there. You've never ever seen nothing like it in your life. The technology what they had in there, and it was annoying. People think it was an holiday camp, but I'll tell you something now. It has got to be one of the worst BCAT prisons I've ever been in, for this reason, because where I was so used to being in prisons run by proper Screws, everything was done by application forms. Anything you wanted, you had to put an application in the morning when they unlock you, and it gets sorted out. So when I was going up to the offices in the mornings at Dovegate, I was asking them for things, and literally they was reading things off of posters. They was reading things off of the internet. Stupid things like, can I have a few letters to send out to my people? You know, they were saying to me, yes, we'll get back to you, Barnett. We've got to go and check with our superior. So that would been like 2 or 3 days later, they'd come back with letters. They didn't even know if they was allowed to give us letters out. If you wanted to use the phone, you know, they'd have to ask their superior to use the phone. It got so frustrating in there that it caused havoc amongst us long-term prisoners. And to be honest with you, it unsettled us all. But there's a big but here. These new officers, what had just come in, these new Screws, I think it was Serco or something like that. So basically, you know, they only had a few weeks training, and a few weeks previously, most of them was working in Tesco's and Sainsbury's, stacking shelves and things like that. So, you know, a job change, a job career, and they jumped straight into the job. So, you know, they didn't have a Danny, to be honest with you, and to be able to deal with lifers and long-termers, you know, these Screws, or whatever they call it, officers, whatever they privatised jails, they need experience to be able to deal with these people, because otherwise there's going to be riots and there's going to be chaos. And that's what happened in there. So the Screws in the end wasn't coming onto the wing. When they was letting us out on association, we were just like left on the wing. There was no Screws walking about checking things, and there was lots of people getting ironed out in there. There's lots of people getting took out, like stabbed up, and I ain't going to mention his name, but my co-defendant, a new officer, had just started the job, and she got posted out to my wing. This is Hmp Dovegate I'm talking about, and this officer was a female mixed race officer. She was only in the early 20s, very attractive looking, very slim, and it wasn't long, probably about 6 or 7 weeks, and my co-defendant actually started seeing this officer, and yeah, you know, they was doing whatever they was doing behind the door, and I was standing on the door watching out for anyone to come and keep my eye out for them. And that is the dead honest truth. My co-defendant was shagging one of the officers, and that officer, she bought us in phones, she bought us in drugs, and it was, you know, it was like Christmas. But it only like, I mean, it wasn't me. I didn't get hold of her or nothing like that, because she wasn't that type of a woman. But she actually fell in love with my co-defendant, to be honest with you. He didn't contact her when he got out, and he dropped her out shortly after their relationship started. But you can imagine what I was doing behind the door. hearing all the noises and the sounds and everything else, and you know, it was one of them ones. But yeah, she was proper corrupt, and she was bringing in bits and pieces for us. We met a guy around there from the local area. He was from Birmingham or Uttoxeter, and he just come out of the army. He was a dread, a Rasta, and his name was Squaddy. I don't know if he's still about. Big shout out to you, Squaddy. But he copped hold of another female officer. So there was like 4 of us in my little clique, and out of the 4 of us, 2 of us, or 2 of them, was shagging female officers. What I've just started the job. Anyway, it lasted. It was good while it lasted. We had a really good Christmas in there. It was very frustrating because the officers didn't have a clue how to run long-term prisons, as I said to you earlier on. And one afternoon, probably about 3 or 4 months later, we was all on lockdown when I heard the Mufti squad, the heavy light with the security screws coming all in coming running onto the wing in their Mufti gear. We was all like a little bit confused why they wasn't unlocking the wings. But this is why they wasn't unlocking, because they'd sent the security into the wing. Another inmate had put a letter in the box on the wing saying that my 2 co-defendants were shagging 2 female officers, and that we had phones and we had drugs. So basically, I was the second one to get targeted. The first person to get targeted was my co-defendant. They run into his cell, wrapped him up like a chicken, put his legs up his back, his arms up his back, and carried him down to the seg. The second one was me. They done the same with me. They done the same with Squaddy and the same with another one of my co-Ds. So yeah, 4 of us were sent down the segregation unit under investigation with phones and things like that. They didn't find no drugs, because you know where drugs are kept in prison. You know, I'm not gonna say that, because the channel, my YouTube video, could be taken down. But you know where drugs go, so they've got no chance of getting that. They have got a chance of seeing where it is when you land into a new prison, because they've got X-ray chairs in all new prisons now. So basically, if you've got anything up your arse, basically they sit you on a chair and it comes back. When you sit on the X-ray, you've got a parcel up your arse, and then they put you into a holding cell. And yeah, you've got to shit the parcel out. You've got no choice. So they've got you back bang to rights. So basically, they shipped us out. They put us down the segregation unit under investigation, and we was down there for about, I'm not lying with you, for about 8 or 9 weeks. One of my co-defendants got caught with a little parcel because they put him on a chair. The phones actually got broken up, so we managed to get rid of the phones. But yeah, we all got shipped out. From there, I went to Whitemoor, and that's when I met Yammy and Razor and Stevie Gillen and the Essex boys, Mickey Steele, loads, you know, Farney Pope, Charlie Tozer. There's so many names in there. And to be honest, when I got to Whitemoor, although I'd had such a good time in Dovegate, I was happy to get there, because now I was on target, and I knew if I wanted something, I could ask the screw and they'd actually tell me there and then yes or no. They wouldn't have to go back to the office and come back to me 2 days later with the answer, or an application a week later. So anyway guys, I'm going to leave this little video here. I know a few of you like these prison stories, so this is why I'm uploading a few. I'll be uploading another one tomorrow. Every jail that I went to, I'm going to upload a video on my time at that jail. So big shout out to all my followers. Over the last few days, I've watched my channel growing. Very inspiring. I'm so grateful for that, guys. Much respect. Have a good day, everyone. Stay safe and peace out, man.